Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. This is an existential fight for not just Israel, the Mossad, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the IDF. This is an existential fight for the CIA, for the intelligence community, for people like Palantir. They cannot afford to lose this fight. They cannot afford to have social media, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They cannot allow it to dispense information. They have to have the control of the information, which is why there's only 6 giant media companies in America. And that's how they control you. So this might blow your mind. Cud's News Network tweeted this out. At the Jerusalem JNS Policy Summit, former U.S. Senator Norm Coleman proclaimed the masters of the universe are Jews.
Hey.
Come on. That sounds like an anti-Semitic space laser thing. Don't spread blood libel. Come on. We're trying to get
blood.
We're trying to get the idea across that you're not the alien invasion, and then you pull shit like this?
Yeah, right.
He urged Jewish tech industry CEOs to counter Gen Z's growing support for Palestine and to win the digital battle. So really, he said the masters of the universe are the Jews? Come on, don't spread blood libel. Let's listen to what he actually said.
A majority of Gen Z have an unfavorable impression of Israel. And my friends, I think the reason for that is that we're losing the digital war. Okay, they're getting their information from TikTok and whatever it is, and we're losing that war. When you think about it, the masters of the universe are Jews. You know, we've got Altman and AI, we got Zuckerberg, we got Sergey Brin, we got the whole group across the board. Jan Combs, founded WhatsApp. It's us. And we have to figure out a way to win the digital battle. Amelia, we got to get our digital sneakers on so that the truth can prevail over the lies. And when we do that, the future of Israel will be stronger because a majority of all Americans will support Israel. We'll make that happen. We have to make it happen. Thank you.
Well, gadzooks, that's exactly what he said. He did say that. That's not a blood libel. And the majority of young people have a negative view of Israel. Well, have you tried trafficking them for blackmail ops? Masters of the universe. He said it. The masters of the universe are Jews. He-Man was Jewish. What about Skeletor? I mean, I know the little guy with the hat was Hasidic probably, but come on. I mean, I guess there goes the whole we come in peace thing, huh? And obviously we don't need to take you to our leader because you are already there. Was it Masters of the Universe, an S&M homoerotic 1980s action film starring Dolph Lundgren?
Based on the cartoon, yes.
Could you have picked a more Aryan ideal? Come on. We got to get our digital sneakers on. Did you hear him say that? What? We got to get our digital sneakers on? Why, you guys aren't sneaky enough yet? All you do is sneak around the internet anyway, and you can't figure it out even when they're saying it to your face. And so you're never going to do a clever version of this, I'll tell you that. So they want to take complete command of the internet because they are masters of the universe. They can't get full control of this one planet. So they're not even ready to be apprentice of the universe yet, if you know what I'm talking about. And then when they do, they'll just flip. And then they're going to have to work for Donald Trump. You know.
Digital sneakers is the most... Oh.
Wait. You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
Put on your digital sneakers. Okay, Grandpa. Put on your digital dungarees and get it done by supper time.
So he really did say that. The masters of the universe are Jews, and now they got to take over the internet. They've already done that. They already have thousands and thousands of... They already have 100 IDF, or should I say OEDF, spies working for Facebook, controlling the information flow at Facebook, which is why we can't even advertise on Facebook anymore, which is why we're suppressed and demonetized on Facebook, because we tell the truth about Israel, Palestine, and Gaza. That's one of the reasons. And the other reason is we crossed Bill Gates and the COVID narrative. We told the truth. Everything we said was real and true. And we found out that fact checkers are fake fact checkers. They're not actually fact checkers. They're being paid by billionaires somewhere to push a political agenda. So This guy
It's amazing how out of touch that is to even have this old guy go up there. We got to win. Like, you could tell he doesn't even understand the battle he's in out of the gate, which is, the truth is what's hurting you, buddy. Like the things you brag about.
Here, let me just show you how much they know that they're. So this is an existential fight for not just Israel, the Mossad, Benjamin Netanyahu, and the IDF. This is an existential fight for the CIA, for the intelligence community, for people like Palantir. They cannot afford to lose this fight. They cannot afford to have social media, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They cannot allow it to dispense information. They have to have the control of the information, which is why there's only 6 giant media companies in America. And that's how they control you. And that's how they fool you into thinking you live in a democracy when you don't live in a democracy. That's how they fool you and they make you think your vote actually matters. It doesn't fucking matter. Donald Trump ran on free speech, and he's in there being the worst censorious dictator about speech ever, and he's not even doing it for Americans. He's doing it for another country. The reason Congress, oh, by the way, remember Doge, all the billions and billions of money dollars they're saving because of Doge and USAID, and well, that's all gone because Donald Trump is proposing to add all that money they saved. They're going to put it on the Pentagon budget, so they've just taken it from one pocket and put it in the other pocket. All that money was already the Pentagon's money. They were just doing it under the guise of USAID. Now they're just going to do it under the Pentagon. So they didn't get rid of any of that money. And that's why they were allowed to do that. That's why Elon Musk and Donald Trump was allowed to go do Doge and dismantle USAID, because I'm sure there was an agreement, hey, we're not going to actually take your money away. We're going to take the money that we were given to USAID and NED. We're going to give it right to you directly. There's going to be no more middleman. That's exactly what's happening. And this battle for the internet is real. And here is the reason Congress wants to ban TikTok is that the hate group, ADL, that's the Anti-Defamation League, they're supposed to be protecting Jews from defamation. And that's not what they're doing. They're protecting legitimate criticism of Zionism. And they're doing it by anybody who accurately criticizes Zionism or Israel, they call them an anti-Semite. And that's what the ADL does. The ADL is actually a hate group.
Do you know the origin of it?
Of the ADL?
Yeah, they basically some scumbag factory owner, and I believe the people at the time that they're right, and I don't think, basically this guy, he was a manager, and he did something horrible to a kid, and it got pinned on a black guy. And then they figured out it was not the black guy. And this is old-timey racist South. Black and white people got together and lynched the guy, the factory owner who actually did it. And the ADL was founded because he was defamed. It's like they try to make it like a Dreyfus affair where the innocent guy was blamed. It's been rotten out of the gate. And that's why the Armenian genocide isn't recognized, because Abe Foxman, when it was his tenure, he was afraid it would take too much attention away from the other Holocaust. So that's why we don't never recognize it, because of them.
So the reason they want to get rid of TikTok, and we've told you this before on this show, and the reason why the establishment is going to do that and the government is because of Israel. This is all about political censorship at the behest of a foreign country. This is from November 2023. We have a major TikTok problem. This is leaked audio of an ADL chief executive, Jonathan Greenblatt, freaking out because the global youth are getting informed on TikTok about what Israel's actually doing, and they're not buying the propaganda anymore. You want to hear that? Here, let's listen to it.
But I also want to point out that we have a major generational problem.
Wow, that's 2 more majors than I had in college. So they have a major. This is one of the heads of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, that is there to protect Jews from anti-Semitism. That's not what they do. They're there to slander and discredit and silence anybody who's accurately telling the truth about what Israel's doing. And he's letting the cat out of the bag. We have a major, major problem with the youth of the world because they're finding out what we're doing. Let's listen again.
But I also want to point out that we have a major, major, major generational problem. All the polling I've seen, ADL's polling, ICC's polling, independent polling, suggests this is not a left-right gap, folks. The issue in the United States in support for Israel is not left and right.
So do you notice he says it's not left or right? What is it?
It's young and old.
It's young and old. Do you notice that he didn't say it's not right and wrong? He says the problem isn't left and right. It's young and old. It's not right and wrong. It's not we're right and they're wrong. It's that old people watch TV news so we can control them. Young people use social media and they get their news directly from the source and we can't control them. Old people are controllable because they still watch Lester Holt and every idiot on CNN and MSNBC and Rachel Maddow, who's a professional sociopathic liar.
Hypnotist is what she is.
She's what?
A hypnotist.
A hypnotist, exactly. So they can control the old people. They can't control the young people.
And the numbers of young people who think that Hamas's, massacre was justified is shockingly and terrifyingly high. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem, that our community needs to put the same brains that gave us Taglit, the same brains that gave us all these other amazing innovations, need to put our energy toward this, fast. Because again, we've been chasing this left-right divide. It's the wrong game. The real game
is the next generation. And
Taglit. He said Taglit. That's birthright trip. That's when young Jewish kids go to Jewish camp to Zionize them up. And they also send them to camp in Israel and try to get them to bang each other and get pregnant because it's also a breeding program. That's what Taglit means.
Hey, if you watch my show, you already know the mainstream news media is not reliable. They never tell you the truth about Russiagate, Ukraine, COVID lockdowns, or anything. That's why I keep partnering with Ground News. Their app and website make it super easy to compare media coverage from all over the world in one place. Like on Trump shifting his stance on Ukraine, if you go to Ground News/JD, you'll see the full coverage on how he's cut them off from intelligence sharing. Even the UK, one of our closest allies, can't pass along any U.S. intel to Ukraine. Ground News gives me instant access to over 300 articles covering it worldwide. They even tell you if each reporting source has a political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and if they're independently owned or corporate controlled. They'll even show you where the news sources are based. It's a super helpful way to see what kind of biases lead to some thinking this is some catastrophic betrayal of Ukraine that weakens NATO, while others call it a strategic realignment that forces Europe to take responsibility for its own security. When it comes to anything Trump does, the media is going to twist it to whatever fits their agenda. And if you're not checking multiple sources, you're going to fall into their trap. So I can't recommend enough following the Ukraine war on Ground News and checking your blind spots to find these stories missing from the other side of the political spectrum. You won't get this kind of transparency from mainstream media. Ground News is a lot like this show, actually. They're doing what we're doing. So just go to Ground News/JD or just scan the QR code on the screen. We're offering my viewers 40% off the same plan I use, which gets you unlimited access to all their features. This knocks the price down to just $5 a month. Subscribing not only supports an independent news platform working to make the media more transparent, it also supports this show and everything we do here. Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Bakersfield, San Jose, California, Buffalo, New York, Toledo, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, Liverpool, Birmingham, and London. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.